Ricardo.
And good afternoon, and welcome to the FIVB Las Vegas, presented by P1440. I'm Jeff Alzina, along with 2004 Olympian Dax Holdren. We're here to call this afternoon pool play match for you. Both these teams won their earlier pool play match and are looking to have the deciding pool win right now. That would give them a bye going into tomorrow, Dax.
Buys are huge, huge. One less match to play, and it is single limb after pool play, so the farther you can get along, the better off you'll be.
USA with some great defense early on. Gibb with a soft block. Taylor comes up with a dig and the put away. Great first point to start this match off. We've got some very, very seasoned veterans on the court here. On our right of the screen in white is USA's Gibb and Taylor Crabb. And to the left in their home country green is Brazil's Alvaro Filho and the great Ricardo Santos, who gets served.
Hey!
Ooh, puts it away.
Wow. I have a feeling he's done that a few times to Jake.
Just a few, huh?
I'm not looking at the stats in front of me. I'm wondering how many times that Gibb has played against Ricardo in the last, 10 plus years?
We're going to go ahead and do that work and report back to you shortly on that. Filho with the serve slightly into the wind, facing Circus. Jake Gibb with one of his patented slap downs.
That's a newer shot for him, I feel like. I feel like back when I was playing, he would kind of go high hard, high middle. That sharper straight down angle is something that I think he's kind of brought into his game lately.
He's developed it year after year to be a little bit more of his arsenal. As Dak said, he typically likes to hit that deep, high, flat ball over the top of the outside block. This is kind of a standard. We've seen Ricardo. You played against Ricardo 100 times probably. Jake's played him 200 times. And I probably coached against him 100 times. We see this a lot. Like, he gets served because you got to come out and test him and find out, hey, Ricardo, are you awake? Do you really, really have your heart in this game early? Isn't that true?
Totally true. I think with this being, the second Olympic qualifying tournament, he's going to come out rolling, I think. End of the season, kind of give it all you got sort of tournament here and let the cards fall where they go. I mean, I can't believe we're talking about him having a shot at another Olympics.
Already been in 4 Olympics. He's got a medal of every color, gold, silver, bronze, and in 2012 did not medal, but a 4-time Olympian going high and deep over the block of Jake Gibb.
They have a different strategy than I would have anticipated. Going short, easy to him right out of the gate, like you said, maybe testing the water, see if they can steal a few easy ones.
At the P1440 in San Jose, a few teams tried that on him as well. They want to see if he's going to actually hustle up, get the short ball, bend his legs, and go. I'm certainly not going to call Ricardo lazy. He's not a lazy player, but he loves to try and get by with a minimum effort sometimes, especially as the tournament goes on. He knows how to be a Prius, right? He knows how to turn the battery on low and get away with some stuff.
Yeah, when you're that good, you can kind of get by with throwing it in third gear and cruise. But I don't predict they're going to stay on him much longer if he keeps doing what he's doing. And there we have it right there.
First serve, as Dak says, to Alvaro. Left-handed, playing on the right side. They're in the green. Brazil, Ricardo Santos and Filho in the green. And it feels like there's just a little bit of wind behind Brazil right now. And maybe coming at us on our screen here. So maybe it's just serving the bad side player on the wind, huh?
Yeah, I think here in Vegas, unlike at the beach, the winds kind of move around a decent amount. You don't have a consistent wind coming from off the ocean.
Not as consistent direction.
Correct, yeah. You could get unlucky and be on the bad side 3 times in a row if the wind switched, but it looks like it's very light right now.
Oh!
It's very minimal good side bad.
I love that you can hear that.
Yeah.
You can hear and kind of feel the thump. Ricardo bringing full heat into Jake Gibb's 6'7" block. Just tooled to the outside.
If he comes out and he's not looking and shooting and he's jumping and thumping, he's engaged and he's in this one for sure.
Jake tries to go off the top. Scoop by Filho. Ricardo in trans. Feasting.
Wow, that's impressive.
Taylor Crabb, known as one of the world's best defenders, possibly America's best defender right now, having no chance at digging that ball by Ricardo.
And they have exclusively gone to Jake, I believe, right?
Yep.
Jake got every serve. They must like that matchup with Ricardo against him.
See how it plays out. Go to Jake again. Hand set from Crabb.
Oh,
Little higher reach by Jake.
there's the high off the top one he likes to use. Probably.
He could never get that one over you, could he?
Well, to be fair, that went right. I would never touch it. It would just go over me and in. So.
He's a pretty untouchable guy unless you're over 6'6".
Yes. Incredible athlete, great basketball player. Well, so he says. I need to see some video to claim that, but he claims he's a really good basketball player.
And he's been a scratch golfer at times during his life. Probably about a 2 handicap right now.
We would be remiss to not talk about the golf/volleyball tournament that Taylor Crabb played in last week. I'm sure that helped hone his game for this weekend.
That's right. 4-man volleyball on Saturday, 4-man golf up at Sandpiper Golf Club in Santa Barbara last weekend. Woo, that is sharp.
Chopped it.
And that's downwind. That's kind of the risky downwind chop.
Yeah, I'm standing next to him in San Jose. You might be taller than Filho.
What do you think? He's 6 foot maybe?
6 foot.
Barely
maybe,
6?
Yeah. But super
He's gonna have
stringy.
some hops.
Super stringy. Yeah.
Seriously, to be 6 foot and get that across the net downwind right there. Nice little junk ball by Ricardo. He sets up on the line. Gets a big piece of Jake's shot. Crabb with only his second chance here.
Off the hat. Ricardo wanted that throw on Jake.
He said, horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
He wanted him to call that. So that,
I don't know about horrible. Questionable. Maybe.
questionable. She could have called it.
Questionable
Had she
probably
called-
doesn't translate
Had she
Portuguese.
called it, Jake would have complained. So either way, she was going to get an earful there. She picked to go with the Portuguese earful.
Come on, take.
Oh, just a simple chop line right there. Ricardo bringing the heat early, which has frozen Taylor Crabb on defense, right? Ricardo's hitting such a heavy ball into the sharp cross court that Taylor's not ready to spring out and run to his right down that line.
Yeah, that's you're not going to touch that one when he's bombing like he has been.
Nice short serve by Filho. Crabb on 2. I think that would work really well for them if they're going to serve Jake the whole way.
Especially short.
Especially short. Taylor's got to be ready to come in and take some of the responsibility of siding that ball out. Jake leans in, pops a jumpy.
Look at that set.
Nice soft block by Jake on the heat.
Oh,
really?
Nice job. Spiker big move into the angle there.
What a rally to start us off here. We've had some great digging and blocking already.
I feel like I've been on the receiving end of that block a few times. That was impressive.
That was meat. Sheer meat.
Ricardo did get stuck on the right there, which is more of his offside. I think kind of took a blind swing. And
Smart of
shaped the
Jake to
ball
take
over
cross
that.
body, huh?
Yeah.
Filho way off the net. Taylor with a perfect read deep middle.
And nobody.
Let's see. Just like 4-man last weekend, scooping and crushing balls.
That's a really nice play. And Jake's skill right there to run to the net full speed and set that ball vertically is such an unsung and underappreciated talent.
Transition setting is the difference between winning and losing in these tight matches. Because you
Couldn't
can
agree
get
with you more.
digs, but if you can't get the set to the net, it doesn't even matter.
Spiker.
Another good angle move.
Just so you know, Jake's middle name is Spiker. That's why we keep saying Spiker when he catches fire. I love our audio right now. You can hear the guys crystal clear down on the court.
Yeah.
With the call and with the celebrations.
Glad they didn't have the close audio when I was playing.
You wouldn't have needed streaming announcers.
No. Ooh.
Oh,
You forgot to bring the hands up for the Randy Stoklos dig.
I think Taylor was probably expecting more heat. I mean, Ricardo's been hitting 4 or 5 balls as hard as he can, and he just took a little off that one.
Yeah, he was a little farther off on that one. And probably waiting for the TV timeout to regroup and re-energize a little.
Just over B. Lee's head down there, we've got the scoreboard facing southwest. It says Taylor Crabb and Jake Gibb leading 12-9 over 4-time Olympian and 3-time medalist Ricardo Santos and the young upstart 27-year-old Alvaro Filho.
Should we talk about the great work that Alan Siegel is doing with that rake right now?
He should have a collared shirt.
Doesn't he call the finals and I have him down here raking? He does it all.
He does it all. 30-year referee from the East Coast.
Wasn't he coaching in Michigan? Or
he's done a lot of coaching too.
Yeah.
We don't have the bios for the refs, for God's sakes. But if you've been on this tour as long as Dax and I have, we definitely know the refs' names.
Yeah, they all know my name. I'm not sure that
you might have a special name for a few of them, I think.
Yes, they might have a special name for me.
Yeah. One of the refs told me yesterday they called you Syndrome.
Oh.
You ever seen the Incredibles? Jake did not net 100%.
I like the audio, though.
No, he netted.
They really should have called probably a lift on Jake for that. But
right.
What
does the referee say, Dax? Please, please, do not talk to me. Please. International referees are just infamous for just putting the hand out and just saying, please.
I don't understand.
They don't want to have a discussion. They don't want to talk about the rule. They don't want to have any savvy interpretation. It's just, no, please. And Jake's going, yeah, please make the right call.
Yeah. At this point, Obradovich still hadn't even started yelling at the refs. They're already playing.
Hey!
That's where you say the ball doesn't lie. Right.
That's where some people say that. Jake did not net. We have a perfect view. As good as the down ref, if not better. But they got the ball back, 13-10. Taylor goes short ball to the middle. Scooped up higher by Ricardo. Takes a little glance.
Good move.
Oh, my.
Did he just block that back off his face?
That ball was hit at 60 miles an hour, and the block went 50 back into Taylor's face.
Wow.
Boy, that's when you wish you had a replay right there. That was unbelievable. I would serve Taylor right now. I mean, that ball had to hurt.
He's got to have a minor concussion.
Seriously. They don't. They stick with Jake. Taylor puts up butter again. Easy cut shot.
That's another shot he didn't used to go to.
No.
And as being a defender, and him using the whole court, it just makes it so much tougher to defend.
Absolutely.
Philo was going deep middle to off the top block there, and he just went with a crafty catch shot.
Yeah, Jake doesn't have a traditional arm swing, in my opinion. He has an arm swing that comes only about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way back. Yeah. And so he doesn't typically chop at the sides of the ball the way someone with a fuller swing does.
Yeah,
he just brings it back about 2/3 and then chips off the top, like you said.
Yeah, he doesn't get the full rotational turn.
But that's a beautiful cut shot by him, and a shot that is going to serve him well. It's open again, and he takes it. He's really hard to stop if he's going to have.
Yeah, if he's hitting that you might want to switch up the strategy here now.
Or at least don't block line anymore. 15-12, 1 for the side switch. I'm Jeff Alzina along with Dax Holdren calling action here at the Las Vegas F5EB presented by 1440.
Come on, Taylor.
Tries to go jumbo. No.
Taylor wants that one back.
Badly.
Yes. They got Ricardo looking now. So
right.
He's not just coming in and banging, so he's having to do some thinking, which is what they were probably hoping to do, is break him down a little bit. We got 13 serving 15.
Are they going to test Taylor Crabb? Are they waiting to the end of the game to give him?
There you go.
Did I have ESP? Just wondering. Great pickup by Philo. On his offside, a little bit of trouble there. Offside, bad side, left-handed.
10 feet off. Good move by Jake, though. We're going to give him that block.
I was just thinking that Brazil might want to at least try Taylor at the very end of the game. He's been really good in transition, but hasn't been tested yet. I see Kelly Clays and Sarah Sponsel walking away from center court. They just finished. Don't know if they won or lost.
I would also say that Taylor's probably a little bit better setter as well, especially with his hands as far as the location. So they've got a timeout by Brazil.
Brazil calls a quickie. 16-13. Didn't want to end the game with the timeout in their pocket. We talked a little bit here about Taylor Crabb. He won the Chicago AVP this year in August. Also won the Seattle AVP back in June. And 3 second places for Jake and Taylor this year: Manhattan, New York, and Austin. Although in Austin, Taylor played with Tim Baumgren. I believe Jake had a toe.
Who did they lose to in that tournament? Do you recall?
Phil and Nick.
Hey,
So all their seconds are Phil and Nick this year? I know Manhattan was Phil and Nick.
New York was Phil and Nick.
New York, so
Hermosa was Phil and Nick. That's where
Phil and
Manhattan
Nick, have ruined a lot of people's weekends.
That's for darn sure.
I bet everyone appreciates those guys just taking this weekend off.
Oh, like back when Tiger used to finally take one off. Back to action here. Jake Gibb serves Philo, who runs a back set to the bad side. Taylor in transition from the right. Oh, what a pretty baby cut. Pretty well-oiled machine, the American team right now, yeah?
They are playing well. That was crafty from 8 feet off. That's old school right there. No look cut shot.
Big high pass from Philo. Running back sets again. Guess he just wants to try and get Jake to move, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really. He's hit, what, 2 balls on the right?
Yeah.
A lot of balls on the left.
We saw that as the bad side, but he's purposely running it back to the bad side.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty straightforward now. I don't think there's much of a good side, bad side on either side.
Yep. So go to Taylor again. Butter set.
Ooh. He's 6'2", right?
Taylor is
That was
6'2".
high. How tall is Taylor?
I am 6'1" on the dot, and he's pretty much right with me.
I mean, that's high, middle, through Ricardo. Probably a good 12 inches over.
Oh, how short was that? Crazy short serve by Taylor. Takes a look for the dump, sees the blocker came back into action. The Americans just putting on a clinic right now, not only inside out, but setting and digging and blocking, all cylinders firing.
We got
Gibb and Crabb.
19-14 here. This is where you don't want to give Brazil any hope whatsoever.
Oh, wow. Kind of like that.
Way over the net. I'm literally sitting right on top of the net, and Jake was probably a good foot over the net on that. That was impressive.
As I've said often, he got it with his left hand. Jake's a really good left-handed blocker.
Ooh, he was on that one, too. He claims he's a good left-handed shooter inside of the paint, too.
Oh, really? I believe it.
You said he's a scratch golfer, is that right?
I've been playing golf with Jake since 2005, and the period between about 2008 and 12, he was either scratch or a 1.
Wow.
He's probably a 2 or a 3 now.
Well, now he has little ones.
Yeah, takes a little time off for the
your
kids.
scratch score is going to go up.
Here Taylor switching the call, but Jake didn't pick it up in time. Philo in trans. Seeing some serious cutties. Sark.
I like the creativity out here.
Yeah, 2 of the world's best historical blockers against 2 amazing defenders worldwide under 30 years old, both about 6 foot, 6'1", that are just carving the heck out of the ball right now. Hey.
Out for game.
USA wins the first set, 21-16. Americans over the Brazilians. I'm Jeff Alzine along with Dax Holder, and we're going to take a short break and hope you'll continue into set 2 with us here at the P1440 Las Vegas FIVB. Back to action here on the featured court, court number 2 at the FIVB Las Vegas, presented by a P1440. Filho and Ricardo from Brazil, playing against Jake Gibb and Taylor Crabb, United States.
Ooh, that's tight. Ooh, that's a good shot.
I think Filo's got to go get that one.
He's got to get that one, but Jake's really opened up the repertoire on this one. Very creative.
Yeah, he likes his high line and his deep middle, and so
Yeah.
once he brings the cut into play, Filho is going to take a little higher set, I think. Jake just throws it back full speed.
Jake's pretty much dominated this match so far. What is that? It's
There's
got to
the-
be 5-6 blocks.
There's the body language from Ricardo.
Yeah.
Just pulled on his jersey so hard I thought it was going to rip.
Wow. That was springy right there. That was a very good hit. This first side change, like we were talking about in between, this is going to be the difference whether this is a 21-19 or a 21-12 U.S. victory here if Brazil starts getting on each other.
Good hold and read by Filho. Ropes down the line. I think Jake, we couldn't see the angle from the back, but I think Jake dove seam there, right?
Yeah.
Allowed Filho just to balance that line.
I think he was taking line, but he kind of moved in just a little bit.
Cheated.
He absolutely crushed that.
Ricardo!
There's
the wall.
Jake give a little bit of his own medicine there with the right hand reach in.
Right.
Take away the sharp.
Looked like they're running like a 4 there. That means Ricardo dives into the angle at the last second, and Filho was running to Jake's line. Oddly enough, they switch it back to Crabb.
Oh, Ricardo. Wow.
He's back.
Apparently this is going to be a tight one, I think.
It doesn't look like a 21-12 drubbing where the Brazilians get all bitter.
No, this is going to be a tight one. This one's going to come down to the end.
Do you hit right now?
High middle. Or low middle.
Low middle.
That hadn't gone through him? Or did he dive out?
I think he dove line.
Wow.
Ricardo rolled the dice and just took the sliver of line and kind of let Jake out of the box. First side switch has Brazil leading 4-3.
Jake does that's something he does really well, is uses the middle of the court. Everyone always thinks you got to hit angle or you got to hit line, and blocker has to take line and has to take angle. The middle of the court is a ton of kills.
Wow.
Kind of caught him high. That was a kind of half spinning jump serve.
Yeah, I can't tell if the wind affected that, but Filho had that red to his belly, and all of a sudden it was up in his throat. Ties the game up. Ace serve for Jake Gibb. They go back to Ricardo. Beautiful hand set. Oh. This is a block fest. How many stuff blocks are in this match already?
I'm giving Jake half a dozen. So we'll give him 6, and we'll give two or 3 for
2
Ricardo.
this game to Ricardo, and he had 1 last game.
So we'll give him 3, yeah.
9 power stuff blocks so far. Just in a little over 40 points of action.
Ooh.
The old indoor chisel line.
Yeah.
Man,
That
you can hear
happens
everything.
sometimes. Yeah, the sound is amazing.
It's amazing. Jake just cleared his throat, and you can hear it.
You can hear the Brazilians. Is it Boha?
Boha.
Boha. That means so many things over there.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Multi-use hybrid word. They run a shoot set.
Ooh, did he miss it?
That's hard to tell. It looks like it's
Just missed.
wide.
I'm a big fan of that play. I like it, especially against a big blocker.
We instituted that at UCLA last year for the gals, and a lot of people thought the gals couldn't run it. What most people see the problem with it is that they think that was too fast, but it's not too fast, just too tight. There it is again, but he didn't get a piece.
He's swinging high and
Again,
hoping.
I think that's too tight.
Yeah, that one was too tight.
The speed is fantastic, and the height and the tempo, but it's only about a foot off the net, so no matter what set you get.
Yeah, and I think he's going too quickly outside, but Ricardo can see what he's doing.
Right. He's not chasing outside. He's
Part of that making that play successful is the blocker thinking you're going to go straight up and down, and getting him to dive out. That takes Ricardo's 6'7" frame and turns him into a 6'2" blocker. I think that's part of the strategy of that play as well.
Right, you want to start your approach a little bit forward and then move out.
And then move out, get the blocker moving.
6 serving 7. Philo with the high line, clean. That'll bring us to 8-6, our second side switch.
Defenders are pretty dug in right now. I think when you're 10 blocks combined between the two, maybe you start thinking about the shot, because if it's a swing, they're usually getting a good hand on it up there one way or the other.
Have to agree with that. They go to Crabb. He takes the straight approach up the sideline and rips off the top.
That one's probably going to end up farther out than the other ones. Very good use of the hands, though. It's not about just putting the ball to the sand. You're just going to hit it off the hands and out of bounds.
When young players realize that you can actually do that, if that's an option, not to just avoid the block, the game gets a lot easier. Whoa, Jake. Could have put his hands on it, but almost let it go all the way into the net before he bumps at that.
I think Taylor would have probably liked to pass that a little farther off. That was weird. Jake was probably dizzy, spinning around, trying to get to that. He did a good job of getting it up there.
First tie of the game, 8-8. The Americans continue working on Philo. Are you serious?
6 feet off, straight down, inside out cut shot.
The first part of what you said is what blows me away. Like, a lot of guys can hit that sharp from a foot off, but 6 feet off. That was Holdren-esque.
Yeah, except for the 6 feet off part.
Another great short serve, puts Crabb on the ground, and I really think that Philo has to get that. My philosophy is when you serve short and you put a guy on the ground, the serve receiver on the ground, they don't get a big approach, so he's probably going to shoot it. And he was surprised that there was a high line.
Especially with Ricardo up there taking so much area.
Oh, Jake swats it, but right at Philo.
Ricardo did not like getting swatted, so he went for the glory ball straight down, and Jake was all over that. Is that 8 blocks now? 7.
7 stuff blocks for Jake Spiker Gibb, and their first lead of the second set. Back to Ricardo. High ball to the outside. Wow, that's gnarly.
Ricardo has a tendency of being what we like to call in volleyball stubborn.
Yes.
If you get blocked 2 times, he is going to challenge the blocker every time until he puts one away. That way he can just put it back in their face a little bit.
One of the coolest things to watch. Someone just take a challenge head on. Boom.
That's block number 4 for
4
Ricardo.
for Ricardo.
And 7.
7 for Jake. We've got an absolute Thanksgiving dinner here. It's a stuff fest.
Wow. I'm wondering, I haven't been on the sand yet here. Have you ventured on the sand?
I haven't walked around on it, but I put some in my hands yesterday, and it is extremely fine grained.
Yeah, I'm thinking usually when blockers have 11 blocks within the first game and 2 side changes, 3 side changes, it's fairly hard packed.
Yeah.
They're getting over the net. Well, Ricardo and Philo are up 11-10 now, so the engagement is full. They're not mailing this one in, so Jake and Taylor better buckle up.
Yeah, great action here on feature court on day 1 of the FIVB Las Vegas, presented by P1440. We got a Jumpers Beach out here. People are flying max power. We're seeing an absolute blocking clinic by 2 of the greatest to ever play the game up at the net, Ricardo Santos and Jake Gibb.
Another amazing rake job by Alan Siegel. Would be remiss if we didn't mention that.
Isn't he amazing? Gosh.
So good.
Mentioned earlier, Ricardo's got 4 Olympics under his belt, and Jake Gibb has 3. So 7 Olympics between the 2. Do you think there's anything specific that may have prevented Jake from earning a medal yet? Or playing for a medal yet? He's had 3 nice runs. He's took a 5th, a 5th, and a 19th.
19th. Oh, yeah, they didn't make it out of pool. There's so many variables when it comes to the Olympics. Obviously, the pool play, there's some luck in what pool you get in. If you get out of pool, half the teams are drawn out of a hat.
Yeah.
You could have.
I thought he and Sean Rosenthal in 2008 in Beijing were looking really, really good. They were kind of peaking. It was their first Olympics for either one of them, and they're kind of at the top of their game. People were still serving Sean Rosenthal a lot, but they actually had to play what was recognized as the best team in the world at that point. Jake and Sean Rosenthal played Ricardo and Emmanuel for that 5th place game. So talk about a really tough draw.
Yeah, there's so many variables. Obviously, you have to be playing well. You need a little luck with the draw, and maybe hope somebody has an off day. And unfortunately, I think for Jake, he's kind of not gotten a raw deal or raw draw. It's just a tough draw, and he hasn't got some of the breaks.
I think a lot of people would say that he got a pretty good draw in 2012, however. In the 5th place match, he was playing the Latvian team that was about 6'3" and 6'4", maybe at blockers.
Is that the Lion?
No, the non-Lion Latvians. And
they play a different game. Way different than anybody else.
Way different.
That's a good shot.
Beautiful wrist away line shot by Jake, tying it up at 13s.
If I'm not mistaken, that's his first line shot as well.
Definitely his first true shot, right? Not like his slap or off the top ball. There's a look at Chris Crabb, the father of Taylor and Trevor Crabb, legend in his own right from the Hawaiian Islands.
Ooh. Philo sets just a ball that you want it. I literally want to jump off this table here and hit it. It looks so good.
It's pure, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Very impressive.
Trevor Crabb also in this tournament playing with Tribe Born. They were leading the Spanish team on the inside interior courts about 20 minutes ago. We don't know how that ended, although Crabb and Born won the first set.
I just missed that angle serve, by the way, about an inch or two.
Yeah, this game's at a really high level. There are really no bad errors right now, right?
No, nobody's gone into a side-out slump of 6-7 in a row, something like that.
14-0, game to 7. Taylor Crabb back to serve. Stick with Philo. High ball in the middle.
Jeez.
That is pounded.
Unless you've played, it's hard to understand how hard of a hit that is from 8 feet off the net. At 6'1".
At 6'1". I mean, he just cannoned that ball. Nice little sideline dart by Ricardo. Jake's up and takes a peek.
That's where, as a blocker, you just served. You ran all the way to the net. You finally got a touch, and then you turn around, and your defender's looking at you to turn and run 5 feet and get the ball. You're like, come on, I just did all this work, and you want me to go run and dig that for you?
And your answer as a defender is?
Yes.
Taylor in transition tries to slice off a little too much on that cutty. Oh, one of our first hugs by the Brazilians. I didn't miss that until now. Really wasn't missing the soft, gentle tapping on the back.
I kind of blame.
Stalling.
I blame. What Brazilian women's team was it?
Shelda and Adriana.
I blame them for all of that happens right now. All of it. It's their fault.
It's a little out of hand right now.
Good shot.
Oh! Okay, Dex, the wind did stop earlier, but both those plays were very affected by the wind. You can see it's coming into Taylor Crabb's face. I think that's clearly what pushed his cut shot in the net, and that's also what made that so tough for Alvaro. Philo's running in there, thinks he's got it, and then it just blew about a foot shorter than he thought.
What's that?
Hate to give up a serve into the net on the good side.
17-16. Brazil with a 1-point advantage. Ricardo looks like he's going to do a little jump float and quick jog to the net. Goes short. They try and run it wide. The Americans tried to run a shoot on 2.
Yeah.
Taylor's trying to pass that fast across to Jake, but he has to make the decision, Jake, that it's too fast for me to hit. And so he gave an unpredictable set to Taylor and paid the price.
I like the idea, though.
Great idea. Traditional up and down set. Crabb just uncorks the line.
That was a big side out.
I think that's right there why some people say, like, why do you run all these trick plays if you can do that?
Yeah,
because we're great, right?
Yeah.
Their answer is, I want to stretch the limits.
Because you can. And then it makes, when you do a normal play, maybe they're not as used to seeing it every single time.
Totally agree. 17 serving, 18 back to Filho. Uh-oh, there's a miss hit.
Let's go.
One of only 2 true miss hits so far, and that's going to tie the game up at 18s.
Ricardo's last stuff block, by the way, number 5. 7-5 now. Gibb against Ricardo in the stuff
Let
block.
me get in your head. What's Filho do right now? He's getting served. He just missed.
He's going to bang one line. Oh, wow. He went right back to what he just missed.
That's gutsy.
What do they say? Some of the greatest players are very stubborn.
Totally. You, Stein, come to mind.
I wouldn't put myself on that list, but I am stubborn.
You are stubborn.
My wife would definitely agree with that.
19-18, trying to get to their first set point opportunity. That's the one you've been talking about.
There's the high slapper.
As soon as you think it's line or sharp angle, then Jake just goes, just slap it right down the middle of the court.
And Filho had been sitting in that spot for probably the last 40 points, and he hadn't hit one there.
Great awareness by Jake Gibb. 19-all. Who's going to get to the 21st?
Ooh.
Taylor flying tomahawk. Little push set.
Ooh, good high hit there. 6-1 off the top of 6-7. The game has changed a little, Jeff.
A little more physical than it was in the 20th century.
Yes.
Ricardo, 4-time Olympian, back to serve, left side of your screen, 2019 set point number 1.
Out.
That's pretty uncharacteristic.
Yeah, that wasn't even close either.
I wish we could tell you how far that ball's going to go right now.
It's going to be gambling here in a second in the casino.
There's no fence behind here, and that ball's probably 400 yards away. Jake Gibb to see if they can take the ad back. Uh-oh.
Trouble set.
And nobody.
Set by Jake.
High ball, really high.
Even though Taylor dug that ball, that was an incredible swing by Filho again. Where he puts them in so much pressure to dig the ball where Taylor has to dig it 10 feet off the net, then they don't get a good transition swing.
Filho's transition swing there was from about 9 feet off, and as you're saying, he really split the middle on that ball. Set point, Brazil. Gibb.
There's the high cheese again.
Is Ricardo going to milk this little baby bump under the net? Jake Gibb, Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah.
Helps him up, even though he knows it was like a toenail bump.
I have to say, I'll come clean. I think it was in 2004, the beginning of the second Olympic year. I sprained Ricardo's ankle and came under the net on accident. I felt really bad about it at the time.
Ouch. To save game point.
Good high swing.
Where was that, Dax?
That was I want to say that was in Mallorca, Spain.
Really?
All places, yeah. And it wasn't too far before the Olympics.
Probably July.
Yeah. To his credit, he recovered enough to win the gold medal that year. So
still take us out of pool play. Sucker. Gibb off the net. Wow. That's a big time high line hit. Gotta find some old footage of you and Steino in the Olympic Games.
Crabb and Gibb are up 22-21?
Well, unless the score has been tweaked a little bit. They find themselves at match point.
Oh. Sometimes he can be in the right spot and everything perfect, and it's not always going to come up.
Ricardo's got the heaviest
absolutely
lever.
brings that, yeah. 22 all. I thought Brazil was up by a smidgen, but now it's tied.
I think we had a delayed score on one of the times we called. Filo back to serve. 22. Nope. There they go.
There we go.
That's
all right.
fixed.
Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Totally lost my mind.
Come on, baby.
Brazil
23
does
all.
have the ad.
So we're basically going to come down to which big guy is either going to take over here and get a block, or which little guy is going to run down a shot here. Been a lot of side out back and forth lately.
Crabb, super short to Filo. Beautiful pass. It started with that pass, right? I mean, the pad, that's what you want to do when somebody serves you short. Filo lifted that 20 feet in the air, perfectly vertical, so that Ricardo could come in and just smash it or give him a perfectly vertical set. That's the only thing that can allow someone to hit that dang sharp.
It's pretty impressive.
Gosh, that was sharp.
They're taking a timeout up 24-23.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Brazil called that?
I think Ricardo might be a little gassed. And I think he knows how important these next two serves are, and he wants to be fully fueled to get to the net and get one more block here.
He is 43 years old and will turn 44 in January, I believe.
43?
So we're going to give him that break right now and
Wow.
call that a really smart timeout. Again, the winner of this match in the second round of pool play wins their pool and is done for the day and done for tomorrow with a nice bye. So a lot riding on this match.
Especially if you're 43.
Yeah.
Although what's
Jake's
Spiker?
40.
40.
Those
So
guys want that bye.
If you start with a 4 in your age, this is a big match.
Yeah. If you're over 40 years old, you're begging for this bye.
Every bye victory is a huge victory.
Find them on the treatment table tomorrow.
Yes. And other tables tonight.
Jake on two. Rips it.
That was something you never used to see as well.
Absolutely not.
I'm used to seeing Jake with the Steinmetzgers and the Rosies of the world. I don't think I ever saw Jake go on two, unless those guys were cramping or injured every once in a blue moon.
Yeah. I wonder if they talk about the timeout. He was definitely ready to bury that if it came short. Float serve. Ricardo on the line. High ball.
Number 8 for Jake Spiker Gibb.
8 stuff blocks.
8.
That's not counting all the deflections and funnels. 8 stuff blocks to take the lead and bring them to their very first match point. Playing to win the pool, USA versus Brazil, and get a bye all day tomorrow, Friday, here in Las Vegas. Jake Gibb and Taylor Crabb back to serve, the 4-time Olympian.
This is how late you can stay out and gamble tonight on this point, right?
They go to Filo. Push set outside.
Oh, the flipper.
Taylor
dig.
flipper. Perfect set.
Oh.
Ricardo's going to tear his hat in half.
I think he just shattered his glasses.
Yep.
I've only done that a dozen times.
Outstanding match. Phenomenal match here on feature court.
Taylor hadn't dug a lot of balls.
Not
Picked
the
a good
second
time.
set.
Picked a really good time to get the pancake flipper.
Perfect flipper, and again, Jake gives you that perfect vertical transition set, allowing Crabb to come in and just explode the wall of Santos and get a much-needed victory. 2-0 in their pool. They will win and go play blackjack tonight, take tomorrow off.
There is no curfew tonight, by the way, if you win that match.
Yeah, having a whole day off in a 4-day competition is pretty nice.
Really? Okay.
I'd like a whole day off.
Sorry, buddy, you're not getting one today.
Who's up now? That is one really tall,
Krasilnikov?
holy tall kid.
I believe our next match coming up is Russia versus Latvia. Right. Latvia has Tokes and Plavins.
Do we need to talk about Rich Lamborn in the tank top right here?
We're going to talk a lot about Rich Lamborn when we come back after this 8-minute break. We're going to have another winners pool match with Russia and Latvia. I'm Jeff Alzina, joined by Dax Holdren, and maybe a special guest appearance here by NVL's Albert Hanneman. We'll see you back in 8 minutes.
Vinícius Gibb, eu думаю, что площадки попал. Подавай.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the FIVB Las Vegas, presented by P1440. I'm Jeff Alzina, along with 2004 Olympian Dex Holdren. We're here to give you second round pool play action, featuring teams from Russia and Latvia.
Winner's bracket.
Winner's bracket. The winner of this match will win their pool and get a bye tomorrow, Friday, not have to play any games for Friday. Are you kidding me?
That was Goofy Foot, and he's like 6'8" and jumped really high. Wow.
That, our right sider, is Oleg Stoyanovsky.
Say that 10 times.
Who just
fast.
Killed it as a juniors player in Russia on the European Tour. He won the CEV last year in 2017 in Baden, Switzerland. And in 2014, he won the Nanjing, China FIVB Juniors Tournament.
To be clear, I think that guy's right-handed that just hit that left-handed.
We've got some serious athletes on the court right now. Russia is in the white jerseys to your left, both wearing black hats. The server back here is